Now we're going to find out all about this year's Causeway Coast Truckfest, which takes place on Sunday, the 19th of August. And Brian Moore joins me in the studio to tell us more. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, Robin. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. So tell us about Truckfest this year.
I'm not special enough to get the white jacket.
Tell us about Truckfest. This is an event that's been running for quite some time now, isn't it?
This is the fourth year, and they came to me the first year and they said there'd be 60, 70, maybe 80 trucks there, and about 130 turned up. And I didn't really know what the attraction was of this year. I'm not big into motors and this sort of thing, but anyway, they asked me to organise the entertainment and act as compere. So I went along, and these 130 gleaming, spectacular trucks turned up. And the following year, I think there were 300 odd. Last year there were 400 odd, and so far this year there are 600 plus.
Wow.
And it takes up, it's held at the Northwest 200 paddock. So we start at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's an absolutely amazing event. Of all the different types of events I do, this one is quite incredible. We've got music all day, there's a food village, etc., etc. And these gleaming trucks, some of them will arrive and park up the day before, but most of them come in about 7 o'clock that morning. Every truck is sitting nice and neatly and everything. And the general public turn up, but it's free admission, and it attracts thousands and thousands of people. Now I say it's free admission, but they do ask for a donation. They're volunteers and so forth, and they ask for a donation, and all of that money goes to the air ambulance. The first 2 years it was the RNLI, and last year and this year it's the air ambulance. And last year the committee, a very hard-working committee with a guy called Derek and Chris and so forth at the fore there, but a very hard-working committee, they managed to raise in excess of £30,000 last year.
Oh wow, and we hear about the air ambulances being used even more and more every day, so this really is something that we really need to raise money for, don't we?
Yeah, and they've had about 1.5 incidents per day since it started just over a year ago. So I think the perception was there that when it first started, that it was there for the motorbike races, because of what happened and at that time. But it's become an integral part of the NHS here in Northern Ireland.
So apart from the trucks at Truckfest, tell us about some of the entertainment that's lined up for during the day.
It kicks off with a lovely young lady, you must have her in here sometime, Robin, Yasmin Walker.
Right.
She has the voice of an angel. She'll kick off. And then we have the Simple Truth Band. They're a duo from the North Coast. Simple Truth Band will throw in a bit of country, certainly, but I still remember last year there was thousands of people standing spellbound when they did Purple Rain by Prince.
Right, yeah.
Note perfect. Absolutely incredible, and a round of applause they got out. So I hope they do that again this year. And then Cleona Hagan takes the stage as the headliner. So that'll take us up to 3 p.m. and then they do the awards for the trucks. And then at 4 p.m. on the button, roads close and all the trucks pull out of the paddock and they do a circuit of the Northwest 200, which is about 9 miles in total, I think.
Wow.
And they do that circuit. So by the time the last truck is leaving the paddock, the first one has come back round again. They're tail to tail right round the Northwest 200 circuit. And hopefully quite a few quid in the coffers for the air ambulance, you know.
Now it seems as well there seems to be lots of stuff going on in the Northwest. So what else have you been up to?
So yes, the Airwaves concert, that's the Causeway Coast and Glensborough Council put that together, the whole Airwaves, the 2 days. So I love being a part of that because I'm on the mic Saturday and Sunday at the air show. They have like a guy who's an expert on the planes. He flies in and commentates on the planes, but then you'd have a lot of dead air if it was just for that, because the planes come in maybe 10 minutes at a time. So I do mention sponsors, do requests and so forth. So a kind of radio airwaves, if you like, for the Saturday and Sunday. But then on the Saturday evening when I finish, jump in the car and head to Port Stewart as quickly as I can, and we have the Airwaves concert.
Right.
And this is the third year of it, and I'm delighted to say the council gave me a lot of responsibility on it because I put the whole package together for them. It's on the ground, so to speak, because the council and the Airwaves people also supply planes that have like pyrotechnics and LEDs on the planes, and they come in at twilight. So you've got music. This year we've got Otis and the Elevators. They're supported by a little duo called Villa in France. And we've also got a team called the Ballroom Blitz. Now, this year is the centenary of the RAF. So I'm trying to put music together for the fireworks that we have at the end, towards the end, and with the RAF in mind. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think Dam Busters, etc. will figure in there, and a couple of other, I don't want to reveal too much, but we've got a couple of other surprises lined up along with that there. But the Ballroom Blitz, they're a team from down around this part of the world, I think, and they turn up in the old World War II uniforms, etc. Mm-hmm. And do a little bit of, you know, dancing of the era, etc. And we'll add that nice little flavour to it as well. So looking forward to that.
What's the dates of it?
1st of September, Saturday the 1st of September.
And Brian, what about the Red Arrows? I believe they're flying in.
Red Arrows both days, Robin. I can't give you a time on it, but it'll be on the Airwaves website. But they come in. I think they used to bring them in late evening, but now they bring them in at the beginning of the day, because that's what so many people come to see. So it's there, and then they can enjoy the rest of the day, go around the stands and stalls and watch the rest of the aircraft.
Brian, I know you're a man who's originally from Belfast, so what was it that took you up to the northwest then?
I first went up there, I started out possibly like yourself with mobile discos and so forth away back. I think it's about 1835 I started. And I mean, I've been through, I was in Kelly's, the Strand, Tracks, of course.
We all remember
good old Tracks,
too,
yeah. And but now I'm more in events than that. Although maybe I mentioned it, I'm in the Anchor in Port Stewart on a Friday. Did I mention that? We have a sort of party thing going on a Friday night in the Anchor. It's very good. So, and do all sorts of different events around the country. You know, the Big Splash in Port Glenone. I was involved in the Northwest 200. The GI Jive Festival. I have to put a shout out for them because I arrived to do it last Saturday, and they had that torrential downpour,
of course, yes.
and it had to be called off.
Yeah.
So imagine doing all that. I mean, these events, people work for a year on them,
mm-hmm.
and then next thing, the heavens open and they couldn't run it. It was terrible.
But it must be a lovely part of the world to live in.
I love it. I mean, you know, I come back to Belfast every so often. It's the 60 miles down to Belfast. The roads are great and all the rest of it, but I don't come down that often because, quite honestly, the Causeway coast, why would you leave it?
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Is there a website we can get more information about Truckfest?
Probably the best source is Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
Causeway Coast Truckfest, because Chris Arthur, he keeps that up to date on a minute by minute basis.
Yeah.
You know, come the Truckfest, he's going to wonder why this phone is stuck to his hand. He never stops. Those guys put a lot of work in the committee. They have meetings in a little bar in Castle Rock on a regular basis, and you want to see that event. It's incredible.
And of course, if anybody from Belfast wants to come up on a Friday night, there's a good night in Port Stewart. Brian, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure, Robin. Nice
you.
to see you.